Hello children, today we are going to take up the 8th chapter from our textbook Hornbill. The name of this chapter is Silk Road and it is written by Nick Middleton. In this lesson, the author describes his pilgrimage to Mount Kailash. His pilgrimage, his religious travel to Mount Kailash. Mount Kailash is a very famous and sacred place for both Hindus and Buddhists. So how he went there, that is what he is describing in this particular chapter. The author Nick Middleton started from Ravu. Ravu is a place, R-A-V-U. Ravu is a place, and from there he started his journey to Mount Kailash. He started his journey in a taxi. The driver of this taxi is Daniel. So Daniel is his friend, and the driver of the taxi is Setan. Setan is a driver. He was an expert driver, taxi cab driver, and he knew about this place. And along with his friend Daniel, he started his pilgrimage from Ravu to Mount Kailash. So when he was about to leave Ravu in that taxi, isn't it? He was gifted with a sheep skin coat by Lamo. Lamo is a girl, isn't it? She gave, isn't it, a gift of coat which is made of sheep skin. And Setan started his journey, isn't it? He's the taxi driver, cab driver, very expert, and he took a shortcut from Ravu to Mount Kailash. He took a shortcut because he was an expert and he knew the terrain and the shortcuts of that place. And when they were crossing vast plains, grassy lands, and then vast plains, isn't it? And when they were traveling through these grassy lands and vast plains which are covered with rocks, they came across wild asses and gazelles. These wild asses and gazelles. Gazelles are, isn't it, donkeys, and asses he met, isn't it, the car when they were traveling. And they also came across the tents of shepherds, nomads and shepherds. And when they were traveling in the taxi, they also came across Tibetan mastiffs, very important, Tibetan dogs, which are very, very ferocious, very, very strong and very, very ferocious dogs. These dogs are transported to China also. They were kept in the imperial courts. They are very strong, very big dogs. They were guarding the tents of these shepherds and nomads. That is what he says. And when they were traveling, after that, the first problem that they encountered, isn't it, was that there was some snow on the track, because it is Himalayan region, isn't it? There was a big stretch of snow on the track on which the car was supposed to go. Both the Setan, Daniel, and the author got down from the car and they examined, and all of them took some mud in their hands and flung the mud onto the snow which was covering the trail. So after throwing the mud, somehow Setan slowly managed to take the car and the first hurdle was passed. After some time, one more hurdle. There was another stretch of snow which was covering the trail. Somehow Setan managed to take the car from the edge of that snow. This time it was not very difficult. So there were so many problems that Setan, the car driver, had to face because of continuous stretches of snow, isn't it, in between. And finally they came onto the considerable altitude, and there they saw a cairn of rocks, isn't it, some kind of heap of rocks. That is a very holy place, and they took a round around that cairn of rocks and they festooned some religious flags, and from there they went towards the town, small town called Hor, H-O-R, Hor. Hor is a very small town. And here Daniel, isn't it, Daniel, who was the friend of the author, he left the car and he wanted to go to Lhasa. From Hor, isn't it, Lhasa, he can go. So Hor is a very grim place. It's a dirty town, small, shanty, dirty town. All these can be asked in the examination. But it is very near to the great, isn't it, religious place, Mount Kailash. But it's a very small, very dirty, it's a grim town. That is what the author describes. And he felt very happy because he was very near to Mount Kailash, isn't it? There in the town of Hor, they had to wait because two of the tires got punctured. Two tires got punctured. That's why they were supposed to fix the punctures there. And from there, at about 10:30, they went to another town, small town, Darchan. Isn't it? So when they reached Darchan, the author was almost breathless. He could not sleep because he was gasping for breath, isn't it? Both his nostrils got blocked. So Satan took the author to the only, isn't it, medical college that was there in Darchan. One Tibetan doctor gave him some kind of medicine, local medicine. With that, he became all right. And the author, isn't it, felt very happy and he was hopeful of performing Kora. K-O-R-A. Kora is a religious ceremony. He wanted to perform there at Mount Kailash. So the driver, Daniel, left him there because he became all right after visiting the doctor. He left him there and went back all alone. Once again, he wanted to go back to Rau. So the author was waiting there at Darchan. There was only one cave, one small hotel in Darchan. He was waiting there and he was not happy. He was very much worried because snow was there and his prospects of going to Mount Kailash and performing Kora looked very grim. He was trying to help himself with a kind of positive attitude, self-help program. He was trying to help himself. And when he was worried, all of a sudden, he saw a man called Norbu, N-O-R-B-U, Norbu. He was a student, a Tibetan student. He was working in Japanese, isn't it, research institute. So he also came to perform Kora. So when the author saw an English novel in the hands of Norbu, he felt very happy. Both of them started talking together and finally both of them decided to go together and perform Kora at Mount Kailash. That's how the author describes his pilgrimage from Rau to Mount Kailash to perform Kora. Very beautifully described in this extract. Thank you. Read and try to understand this extract, Silk Road.